Cool. Let's wear the talking hat. Oh, excuse me. Alright, let's go to dinner with our speaking hat. Ah, nothing really, game. Come on. "301 4 days in the season of Yule. On the first to the morning paper, the headlines today read: New Angelican Synod disbanded under accusations of infiltration by imposters. Very sus. You hear? I heard the church priest was headed by a sus person. To the streets we go with the talking hat and Harjeet in tow. We shall find this missing man of the cans. Hello, Dreki. There's no way to mince this, Harjeet. I need your help. Need your help finding a person. I'm here for a reason. Have you seen a man who... I actually don't have any idea what he looks like. He would be red and gold. He would appear alone and say things to you would appear strange. My goodness. A talking hat. A talking crown. Of course. My apologies. This man would have been encountered only in small hours, usually given only to the dead. Much has changed, but my master knows there are constants. I saw a man in coat out of fashion. He asked me a variety of strange questions. At Archie, too. It was near Shaftesbury Avenue. Oh, is this the person Archie was conspiring against the Masters with? Ooh. We talk companionably. I've become an adept at learning the paths. He's becoming good at teaching me. The streets tangle. The lights are few here. A man approaches. A good evening to you. I find myself caught on dusk's wing. Like a firefly whirled upon the zephyr. A pleasure to encounter another of Twilight's walkers. You may call me May. Pray, visit no witticism upon me. The name has its origins in a place far older and sadder than this. Flirt with this stranger. Be polite. It is a pleasant evening. And all the more so now. How refreshing to meet another merry soul. Truth be told, I venture out in search of dreams. One in particular. A crown upon an uncrowned head. A headpiece which has a life all its own, yet is not free. It was meant for me, yet resides with thee. It was my dream once to possess, yet you have it first. The king no doubt suggested that giving it a dream unknown to me would lure it out. Yet it has, as he knew it would, though the giving of a dream has dual purpose, both to catch me and to humble me. Only by possession of another's dream could I ever think of wearing the crown, and thus such ambition is but night's ephemera. The horned crown says something unspeakable in Loamsprach. I think it means it would like May to come to the point. Well, I think it's more than passing rude to listen to dreams without the consent of the dreamer. Stored as they are in your horned head, I think I'd prefer to hear it from the source direct. I dream of silk and velvet. I make clothes I'll never wear for those who will never regard me. Life is hardest on those who can least bear it. A crafter is always regarded least by those who use her crafts. Life is not kinder here, but perhaps you are already adapted to it. Your dreams are a delight, and I suggest one day my door will open for you. There, crown, my head is unpolluted of whatever ambition I might hold in my head. The crown you wear was intended for me. I have been lax in my time in the last city. Lingered in dreams hoping to restore something I've lost. And in my absence I have missed an overture to find what I am missing. I know my heart's desire would not have sent you with this. Ergo, someone else was sent, a man of clay, I'd wager. One of the king's own servants. But he faced an obstacle. Clay men, as you must know, do not dream. My king does not like to make a task easy. Now I must begin the ritual to sing my acceptance of this gift. There are much easier ways, but my love is a traditionalist. And these were written on the boughs of the twin cedars long ago. The rules of courtship as sacred in the observance as the act. Now, give me the courtesy of a minute. This must be performed in private. I feel like this person is Fae. I am giving them their minute. I am not. You don't fuck with the Fae. I tell you what. That's a quick way to lose your name and your life. And I don't mean you die. I step back and give May the privacy he desires. I watch as May takes the crown and sprinkles something atop his head, and then onto the crown. For a moment, I catch the unexpected scent of cedarwood in the air. Then he presses his lips against the crown and mutters a few words that sound to my untrained ears like an incantation. He doesn't let the crown rest upon his hair before he takes it off again. Tell the crown bearer his prince comes. I shall keep this gift. The horned crown says something in guttural Loamsprock that I don't make out. For a time. I will see you again soon. As he goes, I see him place the crown upon his head. Interesting. What a delightful fellow to have met ere this evening's night swept. The most poetic turn of phrase calls forth from his tongue. Where else can my manifesto sprung? Why did I need the place of rats? Hold on. No. We got like 3 lingering stories. I think we got the rat one wrapped up. Hold on. I wanted to make an alternate save. I need to have... Hold on. If I wear the rat, do I get a... No. No. I need someone to talk about the What's Rachel's opinion for the manifesto? Let's visit Rachel. Let's see what she's got, if she supports the revolution. Yeah, let's see what she thinks of the rat. Let's let Phoebe leave. I recount the newspaper story. The new Angelican Sign-On is being disbanded. Oh? Several of its members were suspected of being secretly devils or in the employ thereof. I make the story as engaging as I can. Plenty of detail and a fair sprinkling of dramatic pauses. Not all bad, you know, the devils. Besides, some of them aren't interested in anything so vulgar as souls. Some prefer higher pleasures, such as conversation. I laugh, but let the subject drop. Silence falls. We turn to the supply of gas and oil. The favorite pastime, speculating how much of these commodities the masters have in store, and where they could have come from. What will happen when night falls entirely? How do we survive in the Neath, do you think? Especially if we cannot rely on the masters to look after us. I have an older second cousin, some such relation anyhow, who was also an authoress. She wrote a story I've always remembered about a Jewish lady who lived in Portugal during the Inquisition. For a long time, our heroine succeeded in keeping her religion a secret. She lived amongst the most high-born people and was respected by everyone. But one day, a rejected buyer gave her away to the authorities. She had only a single day to sell what she could and buy passage to England. Also talk about it, please do go on. Thank you. Kindness is like milk and honey down here. According to the story, the fleeing heroine was received with open arms, and her beauty and virtue made her welcome in English society. But all the fine English Christians who read this story congratulated themselves on being so kind and fair-minded. Their ancestors would receive the refugee, not subject her to further inquisitional rigors. Endurance. You're saying that you're descended from survivors. In its broadest outlines, I believe the story is true. We did have an ancestress, who left Portugal in similar conditions. Though she went first to Amsterdam, I believe. Her letters were handed down in the family and only lost a few decades ago. No. What I mean is this. Is in telling our stories that we keep ourselves alive. We say who we are and who we were. We remember those. Remember the promises that made us. Why one fall night is unlike other nights. My own writing is a pale shadow of that. The palest. I started writing in order to pull the sheet off hypocrisies. What changed? Your methods are different? I didn't like how my cousin wrote. Treacle. Every heroine nauseatingly good. The whole novel written as a beggar's application. Please be so kind as to regard us as human. She takes a breath. Lately, I've been grieving. Grieving is a kind of keeping house. I've been setting my memories in order, choosing the stories I will tell. Finding the ones fit for the present and the ones with a value to carry on. So that is my answer. Whatever is done to us here, we have a testimony to give. Seems I've confused you. There's a brief lull in the conversation. Do you have any art in you? Do you write or sing or paint? Talk about fashion as an art. I am a tailor after all. Fashion is my art. Clothes are my creation. Or they were. Somewhat lacking in fabric supplies just at the present. Fascinating. I'm glad you've told me this. I'll see you again soon. There's a chapter waiting for me to finish it. Look after yourself, my dear. Preserved stories. Okay. If I do preserved stories. Living in story. Mr. Pages wanted to drain London of her wealth and resources, established a ministry rule forbidding mapping in the Neath. The typical Londoner credulously believed its propaganda, even when it warned against using common street names. The citizens of London passed down traditional rhymes that told the ways through the neighborhood. Yes, yes! It's all coming together now! I've got it now, Archie. The theory! Bringing it all to... Oh, okay, we're not just eating tonight. Archie's trial is scheduled in a few days' time. If there's anything you had to tell me about it, you have 3 full days left to do so. Further evidence against our friend? Or further alibis? You're intruding on our supper. I found a solution, and I'll bring it soon. I've worked out the truth. I'll bring it to you. You know where to find me. This would not be necessary if you'd given us a warning. Archie could have gone into hiding. There are ways. Under the city, within it. Archie knows them better than anyone. I have no patience. Coming here, putting the responsibility on us. If he has a bad conscience, let him repair the damage himself. Nom, 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 nom. I chew diligently. We finish eating. Meanwhile, Moss stands there menacingly. Alright, let's see if something shook loose for our past memories. Nope, nothing new. Didn't think so. I don't think we're getting any new memories until after the trial. That seems the big pivot point for now. Wait. Oh, okay, we're not done with the night. Social scene downstairs. Horatia looks in on me after dinner, though I'm not the one she's looking for. There's a man in from the night. Invited himself, bold as brass. Says he's here for Mr. Moss. What is he like? Daft as a broom. Looks like he escaped the theater. Or a traveling fair. Good manners, though, must be said. I'll just go and fetch Mr. Moss for him. Shan't be a tick. Ooh. And yet, in her dreams, sometimes she is a bee, nesting at the center of a great hive, attended by drones spilled in honey. She never need leave, but her drones, my, how they fly. Forgive me my manner. Delight to be reacquainted. What brings you to the boarding house? Well, not you. I'm sorry to say. I wanted to see the one who came across the Z to bring me a crown. Speaking of, here, take it back. I find its habit of its issuing proclamations most tiresome.
I drink the water, which I apparently then I have to go put the water somewhere else 5 minutes later. All hours of the day, all hours of the night. No matter what I'm doing, my life is interrupted by
piss. I do need the hydration, though. It's been... certainly the variety of voices are putting the work on the throat. I hope you are having a good evening. Even if you interrupt me with piss. At all hours of the day, at all hours of the night. I'll have it. We should not have to be so repetitious with our requests. If you listen to them... I see, we have the hat back. Odds, it is you. Your face is his. He would never have shared it. Moss makes a rumbling noise deep in his throat. You have me at a disadvantage, for though the king has spoken much of you, I do not know you. But some part of you must recall the cedars, the heart, and the knife. What you said as I held your hand, what I said as I held the blade, can you really have forgotten all I have meant to you? Moss makes a sound like loose pebbles falling into a fountain. I think you have me mistaken. I am the messenger, not the king. It's best you hear the truth. My thoughts precisely. I am not who you seem to think I am. He makes a pained, grinding sound, like a formation of diamond deep underground. Much as I wish to know more of you, I cannot in good conscience deceive you. You have his face, but you are not he. You are born to the clay, though there is diamond in you, too. A passing fancy that my love and I were reunited. Our grand love, won from death, finding a new act after long separation. But such a story as ours could not find continuation in such a humble place as this. It is only my heart's cruelest fancy that caused me to mistake you for him. I am the intended recipient of the crown you bore. A gift chosen for its cruelty, a representation of all I lost so he could gain what he casually discards. A cruelty I have earned. Indeed, I savor its every cut. I thought our tradition was ended long ago, yet by chance it continues with you. The king forbade us to speak of you. He only told me only what was needed. He makes a long, grinding noise, like the erosion of chalk cliffs. It continues for some time. Enough to find you, but I know it's so little else about you. Even how to address you. I know what my king would command, but he is not here. He looks to me as though searching for the answer to a riddle. Follow your heart, Moss. Do what you think is best. I must think on my king's wishes. This task was given to me and no other. King's trust is in my diplomacy. In such a long span of time for the task, any changes must be assumed to be accounted for, and thus immaterial. I am glad we have found an accord, when from out of the king's rule kindness is so much easier to find. He would be furious, of course, as we find solace beyond the comfort of his own love. To hate and to keep his affections is of the smothering kind, but make no mistake, we are out of his shadow. Why else would he cast you off, like shale from a mountain's shoulder? Abandon you to the ruin of the last city and the fall of this one. Moss makes a noise like the fracturing of diamond deep in a mountain heart. How was he to know the task would be so difficult? Nor could any have expected a city to fall while I was in the last one. Moss makes a reluctant sound like Sisyphus taking a moment's pause. That's a line. Had he known, I'm certain he would have summoned me home. The truth is a bitter draught I've found. I am like you, Moss. I have served faithfully, been found wanting. In all these centuries, he has acknowledged me, but rarely, then only to insult. He has made you in his image. You have served as ably as you could, I have no doubt. But you have failed. He has discarded you just as he did me. He has left you alone in this strange place. He has known the fall of cities before he knows their signs, and still he did not call you back. All tyrants prosper by such acts. No! He made me in his image. He sends me as his messenger. You hunt me. You hurt me. You are an instrument barely considered. Come, moss upon limestone. You know I speak the truth. Even your friend sees it. Would you both excuse me? He makes a sound that resembles sudden rain upon a mountainside. I'm glad you have received our king's gift, and I'm glad my task is now at an end. Goodbye, May. Oh dear. It seems I have caused discord between us. It was never my intention only to clarify his mind to the truth. Make clear the connection that links us is strong as silver. Tell him silver is not, in fact, very strong. Did you perhaps mean iron or bronze? Those work better for your metaphor. I am familiar with these lesser metals. Our connection is precious and currently fragile. But it has value, more than the king holds us in. There. Now you have made the master of the art explain his metaphor. The clock chimes, and like the cinders girl, I am without my shoes. Should Moss have questions, and I am in the mood for badinage, of course, he should know where and how to find me. As for you, whom he so clearly relies upon, might myself wonder how he came to be abandoned, were I you. Happily, I am not. But assure you, there is a breach between him and his king. I know the marks to look for when the king severs one of his own. A good night to you, and pleasant dreams. Most intriguing character, this May fellow. Okay, we're gonna bring Archie the Manifesto. Okay, today's headlines read: Bazaar distributes eco currency for purchase of food and fuel. The pound sterling plummets. Stocks crash. Okay. We need to deliver Archie Manifesto. We need to swap so that we can go without Harjeet. As funny as it would be to wear the horned crown. That'll do. That'll do. Now we can sneak see. Taking a risk coming here without Harjeet. You know, watch out. They'll pack you up in the ungulate beside me. Then where will we be? Recount the newspaper story. Masters have brought in a new currency called the Echo. Ugh. Old pennies, shillings, guineas, pound notes, and other currency from the surface are to be turned in. I tell the story to bring out the humor where it's to be found. The frightening thing about the ministries is what the paper did not dare to print. He pronounces himself glad to hear anything of the outside world in any case. About the manifesto. I lay out my argument, preserving London's tradition and our history, together with the memory of the fall itself. Archiving everything, remembering who we are. Cannot say it sounds like it'd do much. Might as well sing lullabies to a sick patient. Really, dude? Fuck you, this is what you're getting. You don't like all the street signs being taken down and streets being renamed? I'm saying we keep those. At least tell young people what they were. I see. He reads over the paper again. I can see him coming around. He tucks my written notes into his clothes. This'll do. Might grumble at times, but I'm grateful for the help. Feel it's the sort of thing I ought to write myself. Sit down and think out how London's to be saved. As though she were a patient, with a heap of concerning symptoms. But I find I cannot get my mind around the whole of it. I feel like I'm in a church bell, ringing the alarm. Or the dog that barks, the flock overhead that flies before the storm. The fear is running, strung through every limb, It jingles me constantly. But there's nae peace for thinking what next. And by itself, the ringing bell's no use at all. Archie considers whether there's anything to add. Come back as soon as you like. Tomorrow, if it suits you. Okay. We got that done. Now let's go to Harjeet with the real murder. First, right on her head. Lapel. Corsage. Torso. Or gentlemanly overcoat, because I like it. Alright, Harjeet. I've solved the murder. I bring Harjeet a case that can't be brought to trial. He'll tell me that quickly, so I can get something else done today. Harjeet greets me warmly. I'm here for a reason. As my case. Objection! I believe I know what happened and why. I lay out the whole story as I've constructed it, complete with the means and motives. And you're sure of this? I act on it. I won't be able to help if you decide you had it wrong. Wait until I've done other things that should happen before the trial. A second thought. Okay, so that's basically, everything's gonna advance when we do the trial. So I better tidy up shit before then. I see. In that case, let's see if we can get Milton's remains. We have 4 more actions to spare. Hold on, I need, put the fork on. Yeah. Let's try this, see what happens. Tactling burbles a greeting. Did you know a devil in the last city with the name of Dreki makes an intrigued, trilling hoot, indicating that while he did not know the name of the devil, you're certainly known to the rubbery men, one in particular. He makes a phlegmatic honk. His tentacles rise in unison and begin to flap, like wings of a great creature. After a few moments, he subsides. He thinks Barquin may be more help on the subject. She, of course, is not there. No doubt she has stolen his idea, his plan to engage in commerce. Decisive honk. It matters not. He cannot help you on this. If you want answers, you'll have to trawl the mercantile establishments until you find Barquin. But Jacqueline certainly has no interest in where, precisely, she might be. I could look for her if you'd like. Jacqueline makes a noise that indicates he has no idea what I'm referring to. A further honk indicates he is certain that she is trying to prove she can manage on her own without him. A final derisive warble suggests she will be bullying some hapless shopkeeper even as we speak. There's a brief lull in the conversation. I see. Have a good afternoon. Jacqueline hoots. Decide to court? Nope. That's not how I want to get my rubbery lumps. He's a pure, innocent, tentacled, rubbery person, alright? We don't need to corrupt them. Okay. Man, those couple of days we lost by having failed manifestos is going to bite us in the butt. I basically have 3 actions. All right. Manifesto is not on the front page or the second. It's printed as a letter and only on the 3rd page. Some copy editor has tampered with the language. It is there. Its message intact. Archie and I have struck a blow. On the 3rd page. I guess I needed to have searched for a better, harder hitting one. Look for Barkwin. Okay, so we need to find Barkwin for Milton's remains. I don't want the fork. I want the amber. What do we got? Aha! You find Barkman at Ivy's stall, inspecting the merchandise. You have a sense you have interrupted something. Dreki, it's good to see you. Did you know a devil in the last city with the name of Dreki? How do you know that name? He's dead. No. You have encountered him. I remember the scent of rose and smoke. It clings to you like a miasma, which means something survived. You may be content to dig up monsters. I do not see why I should assist in this error. It'd mean a great deal to me if you can elaborate. You regret this question, but since you ask, Dreki was my opposition. I worked to preserve my state, my city. We enjoyed a concord of respectful animosity. He perished after I had left the city. Suppose it was too much to have hoped he would have the decency to remain dead. He wishes to view his own corpse? It be arranged. I think I can remember where he fell. Show him to the rubbery warrens. We will need to go to places deeper than you have been before. He'll go without Pachaklan. This is not his concern. For a moment, no one speaks. Farewell. He turns back to the shop's offerings. Okay, so I think I can show Milton. And then we should be good to go. Tell Milton what I've learned of his death. All right, so maybe this. Hopefully it's not. I don't need an extra action, and this tidies up Milton's keys, because otherwise I'm SOL. Put on our Spirifers, and that should be good. We'll keep the rat hat. Hi, Evie. I hope you're doing well this evening. The fog has an alluring menace about it. Hello. What do I owe the pleasure? I know of someone who can help you. That is, someone who knows where your dead body is. A sentence to put a snap in anybody's step. I shall furnish myself with my coat and cane. I doubt I perished anywhere agreeable. Lead on. I'm eager to learn what had become of me. What a singular location. Though not what I'd have chosen for myself. But evidently once I did, or had the choice made for me. Footsteps. A lantern. The sound of curses beneath a hushed breath. Barkman approaches. What are we doing? Yeah, it has been a fine time here in Mask of the Rose. We are going to free our friend and bring the murderer to justice. I mean, he's a devil, so he can't, like, actually die. He sort of exists outside the framework of our laws and our ability to enforce it upon him. But our friend will be free, and that's what all that really matters. The devil. Here to see his corpse, I presume? What a brusque creature you are. And undoubtedly resourceful to have survived the 4th. Circumstances sharpened my resolve. My condolences. The end of a city is an untidy business. But did we know each other before in that city? I lost more than I intended in the fall, I fear. We do not know each other now. Come, it is a long walk, and our breath is better spent on getting us there.